didn't scare me like last week.
Last week he
Oh my
literally
gosh.
scared himself with the intro music.
Yeah.
He
I,
hit
I,
play.
I clicked play and it still scared me. I mean, we were doing our Halloween episode, so that's probably why. Let's be honest.
So,
Spooky.
so
I was just in the
spooky.
mood. But yeah, so just before we hit record, Eric was asking me about ginger beer, like just having it on our own, or having it on my own. Which what was the kind that you have, like the brand?
Goslings
Goslings.
since
I've-
1806.
Where is that? I feel like I've heard that brand name before.
The only Gosling I know is Ryan.
See, I know baby geese are called goslings, so when I hear goslings, I think of geese.
Well, that's misleading because the can has a seal on it,
Oh,
like
Weird.
a sea lion.
interesting.
I don't know
But
how to
yeah.
tell the difference.
You were saying that you have everything for a Moscow Mule. Back in May, when I was in Europe with Grace, I asked for a Moscow Mule at one of the bars in London, and they're like, "A what?" And I was just like, "How do you not know what that is?" I thought it was like a worldwide drink. Well, we went to Paris, and yeah, they made it just fine. This man asked me, a bartender asked me what a Moscow Mule was, so I explained. I'm like, "It's vodka and ginger beer." So he poured me a shot of vodka in a glass and gave me the bottle of ginger beer. He's like, "Here." Like, I'm not the bartender, you are.
Like, sir, do you have a copper glass?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think I remember you saying that in the Europe episode, and I thought that was really strange.
Yeah, probably.
That's weird.
But hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I haven't done our intro per se. Not that we have an actual intro, but as those listening and watching at home, you probably hear a quite familiar voice. Eric's on.
Yeah. Glad to be back again, everyone.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Third time, fourth time.
Third time's the
Third?
charm. So, yeah, I think it's third because he was one of our guests and then he subbed in
Subbed
for me
in.
one day. Yeah. But like as we do most months, we have a guest on for the first Wednesday of the month. We were going to have someone else, but something happened in their lives that we thought, I think Eric would be a good guest for this week. So do you want to tell him what happened?
Yeah, we just moved into a house. We built a house.
Yeah. How long have you guys kept it from us? Us as in, like, we have a group chat of Grace, and hopefully you'll meet Hannah soon. But the four of us, as we kind of discussed, we were all RAs together with Eric. So we have a group chat. And what was it? 2-3 days ago, I would just get this random text like, watch this YouTube video. Oh my gosh, take it away from here because I still can't. I can't.
Yeah. I can't remember what month we finally decided to go ahead with the process. It was like June.
June or July, we
July-ish?
decided finally to just pull the trigger.
Yeah, it was sometime in the summer. I'm sure if we look back at emails or something, we could get the exact date. But yeah, it's been a while.
It's been that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So we committed to our house. So this is technically called a quick build. So it was already a set plan.
Yeah.
And we just dibs, basically. We called dibs on it. And we signed the papers claiming this house my first day of school.
Wow.
August 1st, we claimed the house.
I was gonna say it was like August or September or something like that.
August
The
1st.
first part of the video. I was just, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I kind of clickbaited them and was like, "You guys have to watch this video right now." And so we put together clips of us giving the house tours at different stages. So the first one was the week we had signed for it. So we came back and just did tours, and I didn't even think until a month or so into it. I was like, it'll be so much fun. And so put it together YouTube vlogger style YouTube video. So we have the memory of it. And I was like, it would be so much fun to send this to Grace, Hannah, and Parker and just be like, oh my God, watch this right now.
Yeah, I don't know if I explained this. We FaceTimed that night as well because it's that's a big thing.
Yeah.
But I was in the car driving. I wasn't driving. A friend was driving, but driving back from the east side of the state, and I'm just like in the car. I pulled up the video, and all I can say is, "What? What?" He's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "My friend just bought a house. Like, what?"
Yeah, it was extremely difficult to keep it a secret for that long from so many people.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those things where, things can happen, and we just didn't want to let a bunch of people know that we were doing it. And then, like, the closer we got to closing, have something fall through the cracks, and then
Right.
we have to tell everybody again, like, oh, actually, we're not moving into that house anymore.
Yeah.
So
Been
we
there,
just-
done that.
Yeah.
So it was just better for us to keep it a secret until there was no chance that anything was going to fall through anymore.
Yeah. So, for those watching, you might notice it's a bit of change of scenery because this last weekend, which we're recording this the 26th of October, so 2 weeks before this episode comes out,
Yeah.
they moved in last week, or this last weekend.
Yep.
It's not even oh yeah, we have the keys to the house and things are finishing up. No, they're
No.
living there.
We moved in. We closed Friday at we left the office at 12, and we were here by like 1:30 with carloads of stuff. We're like, this is ours. Like, let's get moving.
Yeah. And fortunately for you two, I mean, you had plenty of stuff, but you had a pretty small apartment, so
Yes.
it was filled, but it wasn't that much stuff.
No, it really wasn't. And it was nice, too, because both of our parents came down for the weekend to help us move as well.
That is really nice.
And my parents got there a lot earlier than hers did. So, we were kind of just sitting around after lunch. And my dad was like, well, while we wait, like, why don't we just go to the
Start.
apartment and, like, bring some stuff over.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad we did, because that allowed us to get everything in one trip the next day.
One trip.
So yeah, we just loaded up like both SUVs with as many boxes as we could, and then the next day when we had the U-Haul and the pickup truck to put some stuff in as well, like we were able to get everything else in one trip, which was
Holy.
incredible.
Like our couch. I mean, you've seen our furniture. Our couch, this table, our bed frame, like our
Yeah.
side tables, our
That's
entertainment center. Literally all of our furniture went into the U-Haul or the bed of the truck. It was insane.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I guess it really shows kind of like the stark difference between having help and not having help, because when I moved from my last apartment in the spring, I think it was April-ish timeframe, to the apartment I'm in now, I was doing it almost entirely by myself, and it took me 2-3 weeks. Of course,
I bet.
after work, on weekends, and just one little car. I mean, I have a Ford Escape, so it's not tiny, but
With furniture, you can't
it's
get.
not a U-Haul. The couch. Fortunately, I was actually able to get a hand just putting it in my car because it was my futon that like folds in half at the
yeah.
time. So that wasn't the issue. The issue was my grandfather clock and my bed.
Yeah. Yeah, the bed. Our bed wasn't. I didn't. Thankfully, since we had so much help, I didn't have to do heavy lifting. Like I can lift stuff, but I can't lift and carry all at the same time. Like it's too
You're
many
not
things.
coordinated
and,
for
like,
that?
No. Are you kidding me?
I have.
I'm not coordinated enough. I just drop. My hands get all sweaty because I get nervous about not wanting to drop it, and then it just starts to slip. But thankfully,
Yeah.
I didn't have to carry too much. But when they picked up our bed, it looked pretty light, but it's like so soft. It was like a wobbly.
Oh, and that's worse because like rigid stuff is pretty easy because I mean you know how to control
It's
it. But when
predictable.
things are soft, like like bed, a mattress, ugh.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looked wobbly.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was.
Yeah, I that's why I sleep on a firm mattress. That's the only reason. No.
It's worth it.
Exactly. But how are things? You've been in there a couple nights now.
It's good. So we're the first one on our street to like be moved in and be done in like our street. And then wanted like how would you call that? Like perpendicular. Yeah,
Perpendicular is like a 90
We're on a
degrees.
corner.
Okay, yep, that's
No, we're
that's
on a corner.
90
So our street
perpendicular.
is this way, and then the perpendicular street, like, so our corner lot, our side road.
You're
And
supposed to be a
the
teacher.
first
You should
night-
know that word.
I did know it. I just wanted to make sure I was describing it correctly to people that aren't watching my hands. Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair.
so and so. Anyway, so the first night our parents had left was Sunday night, and I was laying in bed. Like, we both couldn't get to sleep for whatever reason. Like, because we had
Excitement.
never driven from our house to work. And it's a bit of a further drive. It's
Oh.
like 20 minutes further, I would say.
Yeah.
And so I
For
think we
both
were
of
both
you?
like a little, yeah. We work like 2 miles apart.
I was gonna say, how close are you all? That's funny. Wow, that's not
Yeah,
not
we just
far at
happened
all.
to work 2 miles apart. And
Yeah.
no, like 35 minutes, like we were just remarking today, is feeling like nothing. Like I've had a friend call me the last 3 mornings. She just was calling me on her commute. So I was like, oh, it flies by. And then driving home, I put on a podcast and I'm like, oh, I'm home already? Like it's so fast. But so I think we were both just anticipating Sunday night, like not really sure how our morning's going to look. Like it's going to take so much longer. He was worried about getting
Right.
up to watering his grass.
Oh,
and
gosh, yeah.
so we both couldn't get to sleep, and then he finally did, and I was still like wide awake, and I just hear these sounds, and I'm like, uh-oh. I don't like sounds. It sounded like it was coming from downstairs, and like our bedroom is upstairs. I'm like,
What was it?
I don't really know. It sounded like something was like almost like falling, like something had fallen down.
Okay.
And then a little while, and then it sounded like something falling down again, and it wasn't like consistent, like a flapping, you know, how like a flag hits a flagpole, like how it's consistent like that. And I was like, what
Ish,
in the
yeah.
fuck is that? Evie was awake, but she didn't like notice the sound. So I'm like, okay, it's not that loud. I was texting with one of my friends. I'm like, well, should I go check it out? And she's like, no, don't go check it out. Stay where you are. I'm like, okay. I went to the bathroom. I was like, I just gotta shake it off. Like, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
Maybe.
no, you know what? I'm gonna look out the window. 3 empty houses down. Like these houses are being worked on our
Right.
perpendicular street. There was a truck in a driveway, and a guy was just loading stuff up into it, into like the bed of the truck, and it was like the sound of supplies hitting the bed of the truck, and I was like,
Okay. What time was this?
10:30. So then, yeah, I got back in bed, and
PM
I
or
was like,
AM?
PM.
Okay,
I was
that
like,
yeah.
Why?
Working
Wait.
late.
I was like, wait, why are we out here at 10:30 at night? What are you doing that you're out here at 10:30 p.m.?
Was he stealing things?
How would I know?
Was he in like a company truck, or was it just like Joe Schmo in an F-150?
I think it was just like a regular F-150, just like a regular truck and a regular guy. I'm like, I don't know. But it was like really long stuff. It was just like, I didn't spend that much time because I was like, I don't want someone to know I'm watching them. But I was like, at least I know what that sound was. And it wasn't coming from downstairs. But yeah, other than that, we've had to kind of adjust. I've had to adjust at least to the fact that like we can hear construction from like, you know, quite a bit of ways in here because there's not houses like taking up all that sound. It just comes like
Right. Yeah, there's nothing to block it. It's just like from point A to U.
But yeah, but it's been good. Our morning routines are funny. We both almost forgot our lunches Monday morning too.
Oh yeah, that's not necessarily a quick back to home to grab it.
No,
No.
Yeah, I got in my car and I was like, I look in my passenger seat and I'm like, something seems missing here. And I was like, oh, god dang it. My
Do you guys
lunch.
have like a cafeteria on site though? Like obviously Amy being a teacher, she does, but
Yeah, we've got like we have a break room. Like it's a pretty decent sized room, but like they don't like serve food in there. Like they just have like vending machines with like cold sandwiches and like burritos and shit like that
See,
you can
we-
buy.
we
But,
have
like, yeah,
free
none of
snack
it's-
bars like that.
none of
But we
it's
also have a
free.
cafeteria.
oh, cafeteria is nice. Like we do, but I would have to eat what the kids are eating, and I don't want to eat that.
Yeah.
but
Actually,
I work.
Oh, go ahead.
It's easier to go to like Arby's. It's like a minute away. So I just, if I forget my lunch, I go like get.
I can't do Arby's. I can't.
I'm not talking about this today.
I know. But no, yeah, we have a. Wow, can you tell I'm from the Midwest? No, yeah.
Oh yeah.
We have an actual like full cafeteria that has like one side has like the burgers and fries and sandwiches. The other side, like we have a salad bar. I mean, literally, think of it like Brody.
Dang.
It's smaller. It's a lot smaller than Brody, but I mean, that's what it reminds me of. And
Has all the
funny
options.
enough, we just got told that they're redoing, like they're giving it a facelift essentially. I think the last time that happened was like the 80s, so it's due time for it. and the like conceptual art stuff that we were getting shown, I mean, it was Brody. Everything reminded me of Brody. And funny enough, out of the, I think like 8 or so, 9, 10, something like that, of people on our team, almost all of us are MSU people, which is just funny. So someone who graduated 2 years before we did, she's on my team. And when I said, wow, this reminds me of Brody at MSU, she's like, oh my gosh, it does. I was thinking the same thing.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
We are very familiar with that cap, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I lived there
Sorry,
for 4
Tiny Hall.
years.
That's my.
Yeah,
I've
it's
lost
calf.
my tour guide etiquette.
You were pulling all those stops on that video that you guys made together. I was like, there's Eric the tour guide.
I know. I just had to leave it because I cut so much down. So Parker, if you want to see the unedited version, let me know. It took me so long, honestly, to like think about how I wanted to edit it, because it was like, oh, do I want to go room by room, or do I want to go like date by date? You know, like
Right.
the wood framing, or by walls and then floors. I don't know. And then I clipped it, and he was like, maybe just like tour by tour. And I was like, okay. And I was watching him like, this
Like
sucks.
room by room. Yeah.
And then
Honestly,
I switched it up.
I didn't want to say anything, but since we brought it up, I wasn't a huge fan of the like room first, middle, end, first, middle, end, first, middle, end. I thought it would have flowed better if it was just kind of do the whole house tour, but then edit it to be the same rooms, but all like first build, then all in process, and then all end. Does
Yeah,
that make
it did
sense?
not look good. I tried it.
Yeah, because it was like
was
AAA, BBB, CCC. That's how the video came
Yeah.
out, I noticed. But it should have been like ABC 1, ABC 2, ABC 3.
Yeah, we tried.
That's just
that
me, though.
Originally, like initially, but
Mm-hmm.
just like the length of all the videos, like it just would have been like she would have had to make so many small cuts. Like
Yeah, because the
That's fair.
original
Be able to do
the
that.
original purpose of the videos was just to give like our parents and our siblings, because our parents and siblings were the only people that we like were close
Knew.
with knew.
Right.
So we were just giving them videos so they could see it. So if we had recorded with the intention from the beginning of the YouTube edit, then we could have been like way more
Yeah, that's fair.
efficient with the time. But it was like it was going to be an hour long. If I
Yeah.
kept it in the
I
way
mean,
had it.
It was a pretty long video. It wasn't like terribly long, but it was a decent length, even just watching it in the car. Because unfortunately, being that I was the co-pilot, I had my phone plugged in, so I'm just like playing the video over the speakers. I'm like, sorry.
You're like, I have to see this now.
I know. I'm like, I have to watch it. I can't not watch it. So you're just gonna have to bear listening to it, but not being able to hear anything. You're like, who the fuck are these people?
a true friend.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I was playing music the rest of the trip, so it was a 2.5 hour car ride. So we had more than enough time for one video.
Yeah, that's plenty. I think it was like 12 minutes.
Yeah. So have the countertops come in yet?
Yes, we got our countertops Monday.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm so happy about that. They look great.
So
Because yeah, like for the longest time, like because we would visit the house once a week just to see like new updates. So we just wanted to visit it as frequently as possible just to make sure everything was going smoothly and that we were calling out anything that we were seeing.
We almost lost the light switch.
what?
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But
I mean, we're here
Yeah,
for
like-
stories.
yeah, and like for the longest time, like pretty much everything had been done except countertops. Like that's the only thing like we were waiting on. Like for like 2 or 3 weeks in a row, like really nothing had changed. And like we were like, okay, this time we visit, like they'll be in, and they just weren't. And then once we finally went and they were in, I was like, these look like dog shit. I was like, what? Like I'm like, what the fuck? Like these are not like that's not it, Chief. Like there's just no way. Like they just looked terrible, and I was
They
like,
did.
really?
They did look really bad, but I was like, it's okay. Like countertops are replaceable. It's
Is this the
fine.
kitchen ones?
No, bathrooms. Our
Bathrooms,
upstairs
okay.
bathrooms.
Okay.
And yeah. So then I think it was like a couple days later we had our like pre-closing orientation.
You guys have an
And our,
orientation for
Yeah,
Oh, is it
so
because like your
they
new homeowner?
they
thing,
showed
or-
us like everything, so they had to go through and make sure to let us know that everything was done. So like we have countertops, we have appliances, all of them work. We've run the tests. We show you how it works. Here's your HVAC. Here's how that works. Here's your thermostat. That's how that works. Here's a light switch. See, it works.
Yeah,
Like
that'd
they
be
ran through
important.
everything.
But yeah. So she's going through everything. She's like, "Oh, have you guys seen those fancy countertops you've got upstairs in your bathrooms?" And I kind of just sighed a little bit. I was like, "Yeah," and then she was like, "Don't worry, like those aren't yours. Like those are just temporary ones because we didn't know if we were going to be able to get the actual ones in by closing. So like at least by putting these temporary ones in, like the house will be like in a status for you guys to be
livable.
able to close on it.
Yeah.
It's like a livable arrangement." And I was so relieved after I heard that because, like, yeah,
He was
for
so crappy.
for those next like 2 or 3 days after I saw him the first time, I was shitty. I'm like, that just pisses me off so much.
Like it would recur. Like, you know, he'd just be like randomly like, "Oh, I really hate those countertops."
Yeah, because wasn't it that like cheap kind of particle board?
Yeah. Yeah, and she was like, "You're lucky. These are nicer than most. Like some people just have wood tops." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh." Yeah, and one of them, it was so funny though, because we like didn't say anything to his parents about it, and we were just taking him around the house, and his dad was like, "There's like a scratch in here," and he was like scratching at it, and we're like, "Oh, I don't know," and he was like all upset, like he was starting to build up into a tizzy, and we're like, "No, those are
yeah.
temporary." It was so funny. He was like, you didn't talk about that?" We're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, it's fine."
I mean, I will say, showing me those photos, being some apartments around here in Kalamazoo, even that nasty like temporary countertop was better than some of the countertops I've seen here. So like, oof.
yeah, and they would have been okay.
Yeah, it.
He says,
I
no.
mean, like they said, it's livable. We were getting you to a part where you're able to move in.
Yeah. So now we got countertops on Monday, and they're beautiful. They're square.
What are
Like
they?
our sinks are square,
Ooh,
like
I don't know
rectangular.
if I like that.
It
I
looks
mean,
good.
I've seen them, but
We'll have to send you a picture of them.
what material is it?
Insert photo here. I don't know. This
Hey,
is
you
the
edit
thing
the videos, not me.
I know. So this is also a sidebar as to why I have not been editing our YouTube videos to post. Is because
Yeah.
we've been a little busy.
A little busy with the house.
A little busy packing. My fall break consisted of us packing, and then we had a day of wedding meetings. So I literally
Yeah.
had no, I don't know that I had time to like sit down and work on a video.
Yeah, it's not like we're at the stage of our lives that we have nothing going on or anything. No. Especially you two.
Yeah.
Moving into a house, getting married here in 3 months.
I
Three and a
know.
half? No,
I think
3.
it's like 80 days. No, like 2.5.
2.5?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's the middle of January, isn't it?
2 months and 18 days, according to this little
2
countdown.
months and 18. Yeah, 2.5.
What materials are their counters? I don't remember. Quartz?
Ooh. Is it like that white? Because I don't think
They're
I've
white.
seen. I haven't seen the bathroom ones after you guys had the real ones put in.
Yeah.
I don't know, quartz or marble, one of those fancy.
It's not marble because it's too.
materials.
Marble
Marble's
would
too
be
heavy.
heavy and really expensive.
Yeah, it was a marble. I think it was quartz because I think these are quartz on here. Yeah,
Is
they're
that
white
what
and
your
it's the same.
kitchen is too?
Let's
But a
go with
different
it.
color?
Yeah, ours in the counter has like a little bit of brown in it, and then the ones upstairs are just white. They're super cute.
Do they have that like cute little? It's white, but kind of has like a little black speckle here and there.
Nah, we've
Maybe
had them
if
for
you
2
look,
days.
like, very, very closely, because I think I've like tried to get really close to it and see, and it kind of looks like it is, but I can't really tell for sure, honestly.
That's
I've
fair.
only
I
been
mean,
up there. I haven't been up there in the daylight since they fixed it. Put them in because I've been in like the morning, you know, when I'm getting ready
which
for
is
work,
dark out because it's October,
and then going to bed.
right? Also, like, can we acknowledge that this is our November episode? Like,
It's
how
wild.
is it November already?
I don't know. Has it flown
Like-
by? Like October just disappeared.
I know.
2022 has flown by. Yeah.
It's just poof. I mean, I've been at my job for 2 years now, which means it's been over 2 years since we graduated.
It's crazy. It's honestly, it's just, I don't know. Like, and we started this like when we started this process, like in August, we were like, oh, October is so far away.
I
And we
know.
were just like anticipating it. Like, we just want to be moved in. As every time we went to the grocery store and we came home with food, I was like, I just want to be moved in where we have freaking storage for all this food. Like, we had nowhere to put anything anymore. All this wedding stuff was accumulating. Like, we had no more space.
Yeah, you had a little corner that was just like exploding.
It was just outrageous and out of control. And I'm a person that I know most people like to be like organized and whatnot, but like if things are not where they're supposed to be, I get stressed out. So I'm like, I'm just like feeling overwhelmed with everything like out of place,
Yeah.
and there's no place to put it. So here on the table it stays. Like, we have a clean kitchen table now. We don't have everything unpacked, but for the most part we have like everything unpacked. We just have decorations like that we still need to hang up.
Yeah,
It
I
just
haven't
feels
figured that
better,
out in
and
my
it's
apartment
just
yet to like hang things up.
crazy. Well, we had some stuff. Like, we had those canvases I had made, and we had stuff in our bedroom, but we really didn't have much stuff on the walls.
In the apartment?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, we had that one, the canvas wall,
Yeah.
and some small stuff here and there, but yeah, we'll have more stuff to put up here in a couple months.
Good. Oh yeah, you
Which
will,
things are you
or
talking about?
hopefully.
Wedding things or Christmas?
Wedding things.
Oh,
I mean, por qué no los dos?
We'll probably, we'll do Christmas too. So,
I mean, you'll probably have a
it's-
lot of your Christmas stuff up still for your wedding, because
Yeah.
possibly. I don't know that we'll have, again, the time to take it down in the 2 weeks between Christmas and,
well, that's my
or
point.
I guess 3 weeks, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's very nice to finally have like so much more space than we've been accustomed to, and like now we can comfortably house like multiple people. Because like
Literally.
with that apartment, like if we had more than, I'd say like 3 people, like 2 or 3 people visit, like we would have to rent out this like apartment suite, like guest suite.
That was an option.
Yeah, it's like an Airbnb. They have, like, for the residents, you can rent a 2-bedroom apartment.
That's
So
awesome.
last Christmas when Huss and all them came, so there was 6 of them, right, that came down to visit for, like, Christmas time.
7.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so we rented the guest suite, so 4 of them went and stayed over there, and 2 of them stayed with us. And so we actually did tell them about the house early, because we were telling them, like, hey, like, this weekend is what we're doing for Christmas again, like, fake Christmas, sorry. Like, our group Christmas, so keep your calendars open for this weekend. But we also had to tell them, like, just so you know, that 7 of you are now coming to visit. We are going to have 3 bedrooms for you to stay in. Like, there's more space rather than... Because even the night when we were all hanging out in the apartment, everyone was hot and sweaty. It was just, like, uncomfortable.
Oh,
We
yeah.
literally opened up the back door because it was so hot in there. But then because the door was open, there wasn't enough room for everyone to, like, sit on the floor or on the couch. It
Right,
was just,
because
like,
it opened in.
It opened in.
It was a disaster.
It was
not a disaster.
It was
but
fun, but it was just like tight. So we wanted to make sure like people weren't like, oh yeah, let's go there again. It was like, oh, there's a room for everyone to be comfortable this year.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
we're excited about that, and just
I'm excited to
being
come
able to
down.
have, come. And there's a whole room for you. We have air mattresses and guest
excited.
towels.
Hey, I mean, obviously the wedding has to come first, but you got plenty of room for kids.
Oh yeah, later.
Yeah, that's years.
yeah.
That is years down the road.
I think
Hey.
he's just trying to win the bet against
We
Grace.
don't need to manifest that right now.
I will say this, and we can leave it at that. My sister last year, I'm not going to have kids anytime soon. And then after they got married, of course, I want to be an uncle. I'm not remotely close to having a husband, let alone any children.
Right.
And so I kind of made the joke. I'm like, well, it's not like I'm going to be an uncle anytime soon. She's like, why do you say that? I'm like, you always say no, I'm not going to have kids anytime soon. And she goes, well, I'm like, oh. So you never know how quickly your mind changes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that is so exciting. I'm glad that you guys are finally into a space that actually fits the 3 of you.
Yeah.
And fits guests
Guests.
a little
That's what he
bit
cares about.
easier.
Guests.
Well, I mean,
Parker's room. He
It's-
called dibs on one.
yeah, it was great that I had a couch, but having my own room would be amazing when I come down. because hopefully I can come soon. I mean, it's really up to you too, because I know both of you are super uber duper busy. But just let me know when you got a free weekend or something, and I'll see if I have that weekend open.
Yeah. And speaking of like having guests come too, it's not even just like about the house itself. It's like the area that we built in.
Oh yeah.
Like we love like our city. 'Cause like
Super
where
cute.
our neighborhood right now is like next to cornfields. So it's like almost in this kind of rural-ish like,
Kind of small
area.
town vibe.
Yeah.
But then like you go like 5 minutes down the road and like there's every single like store you would ever need. Like
Good.
there's like there's literally in like a 5-minute stretch like there's every single fast food you can think of like along this road. Walmart's, Kroger's, Lowe's, like all those.
Hobby Lobby, like literally the whole range of stores.
So like you've got, it's like we're living in like the rural section, but then you've got everything you need from a city perspective as well.
That's
And then we
nice.
also have a really, really nice downtown. Like it's one of those downtowns where it's like not so small where like you literally drive past it in the blink of an eye, but it's not,
Where I
yeah,
grew up.
exactly. But it's not like it's not a Indianapolis or a,
Right. It's kind of like
where-
a touristy where it probably has like shops and stuff.
It has shops. It has cute little, like it has a massive like parking lot, and you can like walk to anywhere. They have a little amphitheater. They always have like these little festivals going on in the weekends. Like in the fall,
That's
I've seen like
awesome.
3 different things on there. Like you're gonna eat it up.
That
good
sounds like
restaurants
I
and
would
stuff
like it.
too. A really nice park with a lot of different paths like to go on walks and stuff. So we'll definitely be taking Evie on a lot of walks there
Aw.
as well. So yeah, it's just like it's a great combination of all those things, and like it's a very up and coming like city as well. So it's definitely growing. So that definitely played into where we built the house as well, because we knew we wanted this spec of the house with the builders that we went through. We just didn't know what neighborhood we were gonna go with for a while. But then it was
Right.
like as soon as we visited here, we were like, yeah, like this is the winner. So
Perfect.
Yeah,
That sounds
it was
amazing.
easy.
Well, Eric, thank you so much for, of course, coming back on, and I can guarantee we'll probably hear from you in the near future anyway.
Maybe the wedding recap episode.
Oh yeah,
what? No.
we'll probably have to do just a special guest episode just for him. Maybe even post on a not Wednesday. Scandalous.
Crazy.
I know. But yeah, so that's exciting. We get to hear from one of our co-hosts did something amazing and bought a house, becoming a full adult. Hopefully it's
know.
me next. I mean, there's only 2 of us, so it's okay. One's already done, and it's kind of me next by default. But yeah, so guys, if you like that, let us know, like us, review us, rate us, Apple Podcast, Spotify, all that fun jazz. Check out our YouTube. Hopefully Amy will now have time to get around with all of our kind of backlog of our videos. If you haven't checked out us on Instagram yet, I highly recommend you go do that and give us a follow. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Peace out.
Bye.
Toodaloo.